This is the case that we're going to be using. We've taken off the back panel and we can see the fans and a few wires that connect into the motherboard, the hard disk cage, and also where the power supply sits.
This is the motherboard we're going to be using. It's compatible with AMD and DDR4 RAM, and also has integrated Wi-Fi. There are 4 RAM slots. For 2 RAM sticks, we put it in B2 and A2. We have to line up the notch. This is the place where the SSD goes. You have to open it up and then line up this notch with the screw, and then you have to take off the sticker before you close it.
If you have a smaller NVMe drive, you're supposed to use these 2 screw holes, but we have an M.2, so we're going to use this one. We line it up with the notch, and just put it in like so. First we screw in the standoffs before using a screw that will hold the NVMe drive in place. This is the screw that we're going to screw in to hold the NVMe drive in place underneath the thermal pad.
This is the thermal pad. You have to take off the sticker before you screw it back on top of the SSD to keep it cool.
Need to make sure everything lines up. Everything's perfectly flush with the case, and now we just need to screw this in.
We have screwed in the motherboard to the case.
We're taking off the top fans, and we're going to install the AIO liquid cooler on top instead.
We are going to put these radiator fans on top of the radiator right here. The AIO cooler is complete, and we have taken off the brackets to mount the pump. We put the radiator and fans where these fans previously were and mounted it up here from the top with 12 screws, and now we are gonna mount the pump to the CPU.
We attached the back plate to the back of the motherboard and connected the pump to it using a few screws and a few bolts.
We flipped 5 fans, 3 on the bottom, 2 on the side, so that we have positive air pressure. We have 5 fans that are intake and 4 fans that are exhaust.
We took off this vertical mounting bracket so we can put the GPU side panel and the GPU on the motherboard. We also put this rod to stabilize the GPU.
This is a fully modular power supply. It allows you to connect whatever cables you need to connect to it that can be connected to all the parts in your PC. It goes inside this little bottom part over here, aligning the power button and this attachment right here to point outwards.
So you've connected some of the main cables, like the one in the GPU, and smaller cables that are at the bottom and top of the PC. It will be ready to turn on if they are properly connected into places like the back of the case and the power supply. When all the cables are connected and parts are installed, make sure to check for any loose ends or choking wires, and if it's working properly, this is what will happen if it's turned on. The fans will be working, the RGB in your case will be working, and remember that they might have different connections for the RGB and parts. Thanks for watching. Bye!